Hello.
Oh,
Welcome back to Higurashi.
we're doing it.
Oh my goodness. You know what's happened since we last recorded?
Literally everything.
I mean, a lot of things,
There's
and
been a lot
some
of
things
mess.
I genuinely cannot talk about
Oh, okay.
for paperwork reasons.
Okay, sure. That means, does that mean you have nothing to talk about?
Well, no, but I wanted to just talk about, this audio setup that we have.
Okay,
because
sure.
For Matsuri Bayashi, we've set up this new layout. We've got an extra desk in the room between
That's
us,
true.
which is definitely not a folding barbecue backyard table.
Look, that's literally what I use at home as my real desk. So get fucked, people who want wooden desks.
Would my desk even fit in your room at home?
It would fit, but it wouldn't be super comfortable.
Okay.
Nah, I don't.
Because I am considering replacing this if you want it.
Don't make me commit on recording because then they'll bite me in the ass. But I am interested. I am definitely interested.
But I've had to go on quite the adventure through my own file recovery system to get back our audio preset, which we originally set up for this, and then I lost when my computer cocked itself.
Yeah. But you got it back though.
I got it back.
Everything's back to normal. Nothing has changed. Nobody panic. Everything's fine. I think.
And you know what, Herds?
Yeah, Felix.
I'm just glad. I'm a big audio geek. Right?
I know. I mean, I guessed that based on circumstantial evidence that you might have an interest in audio. I stay in a room that is like the walls are covered in jumpers and jackets and.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to talk about. Because I was having some discussions with some producers at 2SAR over the past few weeks.
As you do.
Because they're asking me like, how do you get your home studio set up?
How do you be as cool as Takano? Yeah.
And they're like asking me what I use, and I was like, I just put like jackets up on the walls to cut down on reflections, and I use like a $99 microphone I got off eBay, which is surprisingly good. And they're like, what?
How?
You use like eBay gear and jackets on the walls? It's like, yeah.
Why not? It works.
What's wrong with it? Ben has a more expensive microphone than me.
It's true, and I sound like shit. But to be fair, that is based on, I believe, because you recommended me a processor or something that is shit. So, you know what? This is at least half your fault.
It is half my fault, but I did tell you that was going to be the case based on the price.
Look, I didn't know shit. I don't know these things. You're the one who's supposed to be advising me.
I did advise you, and that was the advice I gave.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, I need to put jackets on the walls.
That's right.
That's the optimal move.
Listen, it's much like you know how when you like watch like YouTube videos that are like top 5 tips for getting into making your own content, and they're like, don't worry about spending money on the most expensive stuff. It's like I have a professional paid career in audio production, and I still use my $99 eBay mic and jackets on the walls, guys.
It's like, it's like life hacks, like how you put a little like coat hanger that you like stick into your forehead, so then you can put your glasses on the little hanger, and it sits above your eyes, and you don't look a fucking nerd. You look really stylish.
The reason I wanted to bring it up though is because when we look at Ryukashi Ben.
Yes.
Because this is the environment that we had discussed.
Yeah, we're talking about his amateur nature. Is that where we're going with this?
I was thinking back as I was editing.
His minimalism?
As I was editing this week.
His raw genius.
I was looking at the picture in the game files of his little computer setup.
Yeah.
And thinking like, this little nerd has managed to write these stories that have reached so many people on that little crap box of a computer. That little crap box
let's be clear, using his parents as like his team.
Yeah.
Like the man has gone from nothing. He's the ultimate success story.
Yeah.
It's why I love him so much.
It's just kind of weird looking at like, of those videos, like the top 5 tips on how to start making your own stuff videos. I always see people in the comments that are like, oh, you're just saying that because you've already made it. And like,
It's like, no, you gotta get there somehow.
You really just... Like, to some extent, I prefer this. Like, as much as I would love to spend all of my money on just audio equipment and a studio, and trust me, I know what I'd buy. I don't plan on doing that, like, ever for myself. because
Look.
I think that there's something kind of grounding about the fact that for professional grade content that I am being paid for, I still use a $99 mic I found on eBay.
Look, I'm just saying, do you think that there is a practical reason why I enjoyed just like huddling up in your desk, like, you know,
Oh, for sure.
right next to each other? There is no practical reason. It's literally just because like I like being next to you and like reading the thing, and
Yeah.
it's cute. And there's lots of fan fiction about that, I'm sure. So that's a plus.
Yeah.
Like we've always had the option of like going to the 2SCR studios, but I prefer doing it at your house. Even if it's like an extra hour travel for me. I don't even care. Let's just do it. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, I'd still prefer the studio to this because, truth be told, I still think that studio is dinky enough that it still has the same kind of vibe.
You're not wrong.
Like, they're actually using more or less the same audio card as I am in the
Really?
studio, which
There
is
you go.
funny to me. And that's a 40-year-old radio station. And admittedly, it is like the B studio.
The best studio, you mean?
Absolutely.
That's what B stands for.
correct.
Yeah.
Unironically.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it is nice now that we got this new setup, now that we got the things happening, you know, you wandering in here with your pricey ass microphone and
Hell
me
yeah.
still sitting over here with my janky little one.
It works. It just works.
It just works. Even if Ben does sound a little bit echoier than I do because
Whatever.
because my mic's bad enough that it picks up him as well.
We can't, look, everything can't be perfect, okay? We can get closer. Just
I'm
like
sorry to
Higurashi.
the like 3 people who have just noticed that Ben is echoier and I've just ruined
And
the
now
sound
they
for
know,
them.
and now they can never unhear it. That's just how it works. That's the number one problem. As soon as you point out this, like, oh, it's a little tick there, it's a little echo. Now you can never unhear it. Thanks, Obama.
That's right. I'll have to just start putting echo on myself now to make up for it.
Yeah, that'll balance it out, right? That's how it works.
All right, which one are we doing? I've been looking at these while we discuss this, and I'm not actually sure.
Number 31. I'm gonna double check.
I
Oh my
don't
god.
think it's this one because I don't recall the footsteps happening yet.
No. If only there
don't-
were footsteps somewhere on this screen
Yeah.
that we could do before we do that.
I know, but I don't think we've had the forgiveness of Rena yet, right?
We have. She's like changed her name. She was forgiven by,
Oh,
if you recall, that was
okay,
the
yeah,
last 2 episodes was that Rena was like going through the drug haze, trying to kill herself, and then in her moment of like emotional clarity, when she's just about to like bleed out into the drain, she hears Hanyu apologizing. And of course, we should talk about this. Like, we know in the broader context of the story, Hanyu is like apologizing for being the literal parasite that is causing all of these problems to begin with, and she's also apologizing for her own inability to like act beyond like the parasite's instinctive nature. She's like not physical. She can't actually help anyone, which is, love that. But she's apologizing to Rena for all of this, and Rena interprets that as saying, right, it's not my fault. It's like the only reason why you would be apologizing to me. And there's a really great callback to episode 1, obviously, when Rena apologized to Keiichi. Like, the only reason why you would apologize to me, Rena to Keiichi, is because you believe that you are the one at fault, and so Rena sees that as being absolved of her sin, and that's why she has the courage to like change her name and come back to the village and quit taking all those damn drugs. Which is great. I love it. Shout out to best girl Rena for being lovely.
Absolutely.
Have I dropped the trivia point on this show? I don't think I have. That in the cover art, she always is holding the cleaver, the nata.
I think you have mentioned that, yeah.
I'm going to mention it anyway. But in the Matsuri Bayoshi cover, it's the first cover where she isn't holding it. She's holding her hands out, like almost like wings, like she's going to fly away. And it's supposed to symbolize that she's like finally let go of all of this like horrible pain. And
Fancy that.
It's a metaphor for the series as a whole. It's great.
Shall we begin?
I guess so. I'm sorry. I love Rena. What is this?
It's the moon. It's
Is
the stairs.
moon. Is this still Rena?
I guess so,
I
even
think
though
it
I'm
probably-
fairly confident this is the stairs in Sadako's house as we
It
saw
doesn't-
in Arc 7.
In Sadako's house. You mean in Teppei's like Sadako's actual house that Teppei co-ops.
Her family house,
The
yeah.
family house that is dumb and full of bank books that probably don't exist. All right.
Schrodinger's
Images.
bank book.
Let me just get my Schrodinger's voice on, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know that Twitter account that's like, is there a Schrodinger's cat in this visual novel?
It's great.
We just have to
deconstructs the Schrodinger's cat. I love it.
we just have to do everything we can to make sure that there are even more references than already exist.
Yeah. It is the ultimate visual novel trope, Schrodinger's cat.
This
I don't know
playthrough
why.
contains Schrodinger's cat.
It's true. We are Schrodinger's cat. Mm-hmm. Or we may or may not be, I should say.
Schrodinger's audio quality.
We may or may not be. It's great. Look, Japan loves their, like, is it real or isn't it? Did it happen or didn't it? Murder mystery. And so, Schrodinger's cat. My harsh and brutal days are still continuing without end. The situation between my... Oh my God, it's not
I was right.
Oh! How could you? Fuck off. I can't even believe that that's actually what's going on here. I can't even believe that you picked that detail. I hate you.
They may have shown the house before we entered, but we were looking at each other.
I wasn't paying attention, I'll be honest. Alright, fine then. I suppose we'll have to take one more step. It'll be the farthest I've ever gone from the Shire.
We're taking a point for that, by the way.
Alrighty. The situation between my aunt and Sadako remains the same. My aunt yells at Sadako for no reason every night. Although Sadako cries, she still talks back at her. So my aunt's yelling goes on and on forever. Sadako's crying goes on and on too. When Sadako sees me, she grabs onto me. She hides behind my back and tries to ignore my aunt's yelling. She always comes to seek my help. Sadako doesn't open up to anyone but me, so if I don't protect her, she'll be devastated. As security is something our parents didn't grant to Sadako, I have to be the one to provide it. But every day, day after day, every time Sadako cries, every day, day after day, Sadako grabbed onto me while crying yesterday. I patted her on the head, but along with pity, a different emotion came to me.
The rain clouds.
Oh no! I wanted to grasp her head and smash her against the wall. What an unbelievably devilish and awful emotion. Mr. Frodo.
He's a villain!
Oh! He's a villain! This is the best voice. No, I can't think that. No, it's not that I can't think it, I just can't acknowledge that feeling. Since that day, there's been someone else inside of me. That someone... Smeagol? Oh God. It's happening.
We've truly ruined this character with this reference. It was such an emotionally solid voice until we introduced Samwise Gamgee to it.
At least I'm not switching to the Gollum voice. That would truly ruin this.
That truly would be awful.
Sadako Precious. Done.
No,
I'm done. That was terrible.
That was
We'd have
bad.
to bring in a totally different person to do that voice. I only know one person who can do that voice effectively.
Is it? It's not. It's not. Is it?
Who's gonna be? There's only one person who can do that voice. That I would feel confident enough to allow to do that voice on a recording, and we'd have to go get him. We'd have to go get him, and we could drop off his computer while we're at it. We have to bring him in. This is the episode where we get nothing done. Okay. Since that day, there's been someone else inside of me. That someone is trying to eat me up from the inside and switch places with me.
Honestly,
all the
astounded
Lambus
you'd
bread.
suggested anything that horrible. Listen, we already replaced Satoshi once, and that was a good performance.
You're right. It was 10 out of 10. I'm sorry we couldn't get the real star back, guys. I'm sorry we disappointed you. When Sadako begs for my help while crying, that person tries to make me spill out some awful and hateful words that are sure to damage Sadako forever. Leave me alone. Don't grab onto me. Go away. No, I can't. I can't. To prevent him from taking over my body, I clenched my stomach and I drove him out. I managed to do that. But that wasn't it. That person is coming after me, trying to get back inside of me. I won't let such a scary thing get back inside of me. He knows there's no room to slip into my heart as long as I keep it held shut like this. So, he stopped trying, and instead is following right behind me. He's waiting for me to let my guard down. When I walk, he walks right behind me. He's breathing down my neck with his fish breath.
Stop it.
I can't. He follows me everywhere. When I lie down, he stares down at me. He's waiting for the right moment to jump back inside of me so he can hurt Sadako. been so hot lately. Maybe the heat is getting to me, and that's why I think things like this. I'm the only family Sadako has, so I'll have to protect her from my aunt from the rest of my life. That's my eternal duty.
I got good news for you, son. It won't last too long.
You're not gonna have to worry about that for too long. Yeah. The rest of my life. Forever? Do I really have to do that forever? If only Sadako. But I'm her only family. But it's because of my aunt. But because of the villagers, too. It's almost Watanagashi. Some irresponsible people are saying that the curse will once again fall upon Hinamizawa.
Foolish.
They're also saying it'll fall upon me and Sadako for sure. Maybe it's just my imagination, but lately the villagers expecting it are giving me especially sharp looks. It's all in your head. I feel like I'll be killed on the day of Watanagashi. Of course, there's no reason why I would be killed, and it's just my imagination. Slap, 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 slap. Don't come inside of me. Sadako is my only sister in my family, so don't tell me those awful things. Slap, 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 slap. Stop, even. Don't come this way. Don't come this way. The footsteps came up right behind me and the hand touched me on the shoulder. Ah!
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 Satoshi, I heard you were taking my lines earlier.
I couldn't help it. I have to get out of here and get to Mordor quick. I feel like I need to be in a different property entirely.
No, okay.
I'll figure. Done.
We're gonna have to put a cap on these references, Ben. We're gonna have to put points on these references.
No, I refuse.
Every Samwise Gamgee reference.
But the voices! No! You can't put a point on Mordor references. You can't.
Don't make me. Don't make me.
You can't do it. I couldn't take the sting of it.
I can and I will,
There
Ben.
we go. Okay, I'm happy. Ah! Oh, Renna. Oh, it's you.
Another voice for me to do.
Yay! Are you okay? Are you? Oh, I must have been acting weird. Renna looked worried. Her name is Renna Ryugu. You might not have met her before. She's very new to the story.
I've never heard Ryugashi repeat himself.
The best part is we just had a chapter where she was like, my name is. I
know.
Like, great. Thank you, Ryugashi. She just moved here and transferred to my school. Nobody remembers her, but supposedly she lived here in Hinamizawa a long time ago. In fact, she hardly remembers anything about Hinamizawa either. Since Mion is the only other classmate who is my age, I'm glad she's my friend. She usually carries on happily alongside Mion, but occasionally she shows more feminine consideration. Are you feeling okay? Do you want me to take you to the nurse's office? Do you? Oh, thank you. I'm okay. Do I look sick or something?
Yes.
No, I'm totally fine. Definitely not going crazy over here. Yep. Her immediate answer made me realize I wasn't myself. Is it about Sadako-chan? Are you worried?
That's one word for it.
No, that isn't it. She knows that my problem isn't physical, but a mental one. This is just something I think to myself, but even though Renna seems like a very easygoing person, maybe she's more perceptive than she appears. Maybe. Just a thought. Since I just transferred here recently, I may not be able to help much, but I could at least listen. Sometimes talking can help. Although she just transferred, she already knows quite a bit about me and my sister, and also about the situation with the villagers. But talking about it won't solve anything. Actually, if I talk about it, I feel like I'd be admitting to my weakness.
What a horrible thing that would be.
Yeah, which might give that person a chance to get inside of me again. You were so surprised just now. That's why I thought something really serious was bothering you. How? Oh, that. Lately I feel like someone is following me all the time. Slap, 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 slap. He's just like slapping himself. Is that what that's supposed to communicate? He's like,
I don't know,
hitting himself in the face.
Is that how people walking sounds in Japan?
Here's the thing. Because, well, here's the thing. Because you're right. Like, if I was going to do a footstep sound, it would not be slap. It'd be like plop or something. I don't know, not slap. I don't know what it would be. I'm not going to follow. You're the audio guy, but it wouldn't be slap. But it could also be that Ryuki's trying to communicate to us that he's slapping himself in the face anytime that person's trying to get in. He's trying to like slap himself out of it. But also that doesn't make any sense because if he was slapping himself in the face in front of Rena, she'd call the cops, surely. I'm just saying, I call the cops. If you started slapping yourself right now and saying, get out of my head, I'd call someone.
Good.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just saying, I don't know which interpretation is correct, and it scares me.
Wouldn't call the cops for that one, though.
You know, maybe not the cops. That might not be the correct person to call.
It really wouldn't be.
But, you know, I call someone. Maybe I call my parents.
Call Frodo Baggins. Ah, shit, now I'm doing it.
No! What is... Why would you call Frodo Baggins?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you want to call, like, the elves?
What are the elves going to do?
What do you mean?
Show up in straight lines?
Magic. They have elven healing magic.
Show up and stand in straight lines.
If you go and you live in Rivendell with Elrond, no!
And then they're just going to get steamrolled
to Rivendell and you go, it's called the place of healing. It's literally called that. It's a secret place of healing with Elrond's elvish magics, and he'll heal you. That's how it works.
Fall back into the keep.
That's why, no, they don't have a keep in Rivendell.
That's just what they want you to think. That's called security ban.
No,
they wouldn't tell the humans
that's why
about
Bilbo
it.
goes to spend his dying days there, because it holds off the ring's curse.
People say I'm a Lord of the Rings nerd. Fucking A.
Dude, this is only a tenth of my power, okay?
One of my friends, who watches this show, mind you.
Oh, yeah.
Said to me, is there anything else to your personality other than Star Trek and Lord of the Rings, Felix? And I was like, excuse you.
Murder mystery. Three things.
I mean, not wrong.
Anyway, we were slapping. I thought that was you.
The episode we get nothing done.
Sorry. I got these voices in my head. They keep talking about Lord of the Rings. It makes me want to go and cook some taters. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Footsteps following you? That sounds like blood to me. I know those.
That's not good.
I know those footsteps.
Tell me more.
Did you hear them afar? No. Were they heard from afar? There we go. Did they tread on a car? There we go, done. That's my double rhyme. Mm-hmm. You didn't say "tell me more" the second time, so I just kind of went on without you.
No, I didn't want to continue that gag. That was bad.
Tell me more. Could you hear them afar? Tell me more. Tell me more. Did you trip on a car? Done.
It was November 6th, 2017. We came up with the episode structure.
What do you mean? The episode structure? Oh, with the one where we get nothing done.
Yeah.
One where we go ham and one where we're tired.
3 years ago.
And it still holds true. It still holds true. Assuming we do 3 episodes in a recording session, it still holds true. Otherwise, we kind of blur the latter two together for the second episode. But anyway, we're not changing screens.
Oh, we're not?
No, it's Satoshi time.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
This one?
Because he's talked about the footsteps following him.
Let's go.
I'm sorry, I need to burp a lot. I had a big lunch. I had a free lunch today, actually, but I don't really know.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, Ben.
No, there is. Look, I'm just saying, I have to talk about this now. It's been brought up. There is this cafe that is near where I work, and I swear to you, I have only bought like 2 meals there in the entire like year and whatever that I've worked there.
Yeah, but we get nothing done.
Yes, but it's okay. This is important. But every time I go there, the guy at the front, who I guess is the owner of the business, is like, "Oh, I see you've come in with your friend who always buys his breakfast here every morning because that's a good use of money." And he'll be like, "Why don't you have this slice of smoked beef? Or try this sauce? Or like, why don't you come back for the lunch day special or whatever?" And for today, they were just having a free lunch. And I was like, what is it going to be? Like sandwiches? But it was like a barbecue, and there was like this bean salad, and there was a garden salad, and there were straight up steamed vegetables like everywhere. And it was delicious. But the problem was I didn't know what any of it was. It was still pretty good though. Like they just kind of put everything in the same wrap. So the veggies and the beans, and there was also noodles and stuff, and 4 different types of meat. And it just all went in the same wrap, and you just kind of gorge yourself on it. It was really good. But I bring this up because this man has an excellent hustle. He's always asking me how my day is and encouraging me to buy food, even though I never will. And I feel like I'm not buying food at this point just because I would be giving into his hustle. And I feel like that's a principle I need to stand by.
Okay, listen, shout out to the servers and whatnot who actually like can get in and vibe with the customer,
Sure.
Give them some ideas, because as someone who will try anything on a menu, to pick anything on a menu is exceedingly difficult for me. However,
keep going.
However,
I have another story, but keep going.
However, the thing that interests me here is that I'm totally the same about like if someone's trying to sell me something, I'll intentionally not let them sell it to me.
Yeah.
But I tend to only do that with like businesses. Like individuals and like small places, I don't have so much.
It's a relatively small business.
But
so
like, if I see your ad on YouTube, I will not buy your product, even if I was previously considering it.
Yeah, especially if it's like obnoxious. Like there is an ad on YouTube that I just see all the time, and it's this ad of this dude like dropping his phone over and over, but everybody just looks really fake. Like none of the characters in the ad can act. And it's like, I just have no interest in the product, even though I'm sure it's like a good product. Like it's an objectively good thing for me to own, to buy into the service, but I just won't do it. I did also want to mention, because apparently this is the food episode. You got me started now.
All right.
I met up with my parents because it was my birthday recently, and that was lovely. We went to an Indian place. Thank you. You're like a month late, but it's fine.
I mean, the video is going to be even later. The video might be on time for next year.
Yeah, who knows? But we went to this Indian place that we always go to, because my parents were like, do you want to make a roast, or do you want to go out for dinner? And I was like, Indian. We always do Indian for my birthday. We went there. And there was a different waitress. Like, we've had the same waiter every year as far as I can remember. And we're at, like, I don't know how many years it's been, but it's to the point where, like, in my mind, it's a birthday tradition that we go to get Indian for my birthday. And we've always had the same guy, and he always says the same thing, where he says, oh, you want the lamb korma, the beef madras, and the butter chicken. And we're like, yes, please. Because we always get the same thing every time. And he knew our order. And he was very prompt and very good about it and all that sort of thing. And yeah, it was just a completely different waitress. And I'm not going to mention the name of the place because I don't want to put her on blast too hard. But literally what happened was that we got there. There were a bunch of people like eating their food. And there was this couple sitting in the corner waiting to be served. We sat down after they'd sat down, and we waved down the waitress to take our order. She served us, gave us our food, and then the couple got up and left because they still hadn't been attended to. So that was pretty bad. She was clearly like new to the job and did not understand like keeping track of who has and hasn't ordered, because I think in her mind she like assumed that they had and she just forgot about them. But yeah, that's my experience with the Indian place that I always go to, and it was just sad because it was like that's the end of an era, and now we have this lady waitress who I don't even know who she is. It's the end of an era. Let me know in the comments if you have also had a waiter or maybe someone at a coffee shop who like always serves you your coffee and they like know what you want to order. Let me know about that in the comments. I'm curious.
And if you are that person, shout out to you.
Yeah, you're awesome. You guys are great. You make like the routine of going to a coffee place worth doing that shit. It's great.
See.
It is though. What do you talk? Do you not go? Do you not eat out?
No, I'm just quoting this before we run out of time to record today.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this may be the one where we get nothing done, but we still do have to get something done.
All right, fine. I'm fine. Let's continue. I see, says someone. No, you don't need to do that. You're a promising member of the Hinami's Fighters. We'll save your spot so you could come back anytime, okay? Oh, I don't know about that, though. I have no idea when I can come back, so I thought I should resign from the fellowship, at least for now. Satoshi-kun says he wants to quit the Hinami's Fighters. I know very well of Satoshi-kun and Satoko-chan's situation, so I was expecting that he might say this. I hope this is Irie, otherwise we're in trouble.
I do as well.
I think it could just be Mion, for all we know.
No, I wouldn't be saying Satoko-chan.
That'd be crazy if it was just Mion. Anyway. The relationship between Satoko-chan and her aunt has gotten worse to the point that it can be considered abuse. When someone from the child consultation center came, of course, her aunt behaved herself. Then immediately after, her harassment turned even more viscous. Edit that in. According to the neighbors, the aunt's scolding and Satoko-chan's crying can be heard nightly, and sometimes it goes on past midnight. Satoko-chan's weekly physical check-up results are slowly growing worse, and we're trying to keep her stable by increasing her medication, but unless her relationship with her aunt improves, she's sure to go terminal and sink into madness. Although she isn't the type to become deranged even at the terminal stage, she's the type who holds everything in, harboring her insanity inside. Just like she pushed her parents off the cliff 2 years ago, Satoko-chan may kill her aunt. Thanks to the mountain dogs, the incident was resolved as an accident and Irie stepped aside, although he is still suspicious. If something like that happens again around Satoko-chan, he's sure to investigate her mercilessly. I can't do anything more about Satoko-chan's environment changing for the worse, so I'm not surprised to hear that Satoshi-kun wants to quit the baseball team so he can be with his sister more. Oh, actually, I'm starting a part-time job. That's why I can't come into practice. A part-time job? Is this something you want to buy? Yes, it's almost Sadako's birthday. There's a big teddy bear Sadako's been looking at, and I want to get it for her. That's right. I remember the birth date on her insurance card. I think it's June 24th, right after the Watanakashi Festival. I see. Oh, you're such a good brother. I'm sure Satoko-chan will be thrilled. Oh, I hope so. I can tell Satoshi-kun is also stressed out. To him, seeing Satoko-chan being harassed is the same thing as being harassed himself. His stress can be released through moderate exercise, such as with sports, and also with plenty of rest. If Satoko-chan is being yelled at nightly, then it's easy to figure out that Satoshi-kun isn't getting enough sleep either. I don't know what kind of job he's starting, but I don't think he will be able to vent his stress on it. In fact, I don't like the idea of Satoshi-kun taking a part-time job because he is already so worn out in every way. I asked him if he wanted to help him pay for the present, but of course he declined the offer. Offer him a job at your clinic! Sorry, who said that?
That's a terrible idea.
Why is that a terrible idea?
That puts him in as close a proximity to the insane person in our lives as possible.
But also puts him near Rika, who's like helpful with all that insanity shit. I'm just saying, I think...
Listen, I guess he goes missing anyway, so it doesn't make that much of a difference, but...
It's dumb.
I'm just saying, he would have gone missing inside the hospital if he went in to get a part-time job there.
Yeah, but Irie couldn't have predicted that. That's the machinations of another character.
The janitor was sweeping the floor a little too intensely and flattened him into a thin paste.
Setego was just swept into the garbage bin, disappeared forever. I asked him if he wanted me to help him pay for the present, but of course he declines the offer. It's a present from him, so he wants to earn the money himself. He's taking this part-time job only to earn enough money to buy Satoko-chan's present, so it will be a temporary thing. If it's for a short period of time, maybe it won't be so bad. But I want to stop him from working because I don't want him to get even more stressed out. Since he says Satoko-chan's birthday is near, I don't think I can stop him. Satoshi-kun is determined. If I say any more, I may lose his trust. So, I'll have to accept his leave of absence. Oh, Coach, can I maybe borrow a bat?
Oh,
for no particular reason? I completely misunderstood his words. Later I found that he carried around that bat to protect himself and realized that even then he was already showing some dangerous symptoms. He believes there would be a fourth mysterious death this year and that he would be the victim. He became obsessed with the idea that someone was after his life. That is a symptom of Hinamizawa syndrome's terminal stage. But also, I was involved so deeply with the syndrome, I was careless. And bat? What do you need a bat for? Satoshi could have his own bat, so he should have asked if he could take it home, but instead he asked if he could borrow it. When I think about it now, he said it that way to lighten his guilty conscience, but how could I have known then? Although I can't come to practice, I think I'll have a little time to practice swinging on my own. That's great! Sure, please take it with you, but make sure you do it in an open space, okay? If it won't bother your neighbors, it's good practice to hit a hanging tire. Swinging a bat could release stress, so letting him take his bat home will help. That's what I thought, but that was a huge mistake. I realized it only when things were already past the point of no return.
Which point of no return is he talking about?
Probably after she was killed the aunt. It's probably it. It's probably the moment, if I had to guess.
I mean, maybe.
Well,
I don't know why he'd feel as guilty about it if it was that one, because, like,
who knows?
I guess guilt by association per se, but he's kind of not really connected with that as such.
Yes.
It was off time, Ben. It was close. It was close.
What? Shush you. It was on time in my brain. Boom. We go to number 33. It's on screen 2. We gotta be close. Like, we gotta be running out of stuff to look at. It's the only one on the screen. Here we go. It's time. A bat to beat her to death is required. I'm gonna say Oishi?
Yeah.
It's gotta be Oishi, surely. I have to get into character. I feel like I have to bring energy to roll because I have been a little off character last couple times. I have been thinking about blood when I should be thinking about Oishi's big muscles. We were prepared to respond quickly this year. That was why we were able to start the investigation immediately by securing the crime scene. The victim is the wife of the younger brother of the Hojo couple, so she's an extremely suitable target for the 40th curse of Oisho-sama. She has a horrible reputation among the locals. After the incident, everyone said she deserved to be cursed. I have a general idea of who the culprit must be. It's probably Satoshi Hojo, that innocent-looking child. There's even a motive. The deceased abused his sister relentlessly, so this would be in revenge for that, yes. Also, when he attended the inspection of the crime scene, he was rather frantic, yet also far too composed, as if he was totally unrelated to the incident. My intuition from many years of very successful police work tells me that 8 or 9 times out of 10, someone who acts like that is the perp. I have no concrete proof, but if I question him and shake him up a bit, I have a feeling he will confess. For the victim to be so beaten up, the culprit must have some blood on him as well. If we can find that, then we'll have proof.
Unless he's a complete fool, I'm sure he's already gotten rid of it by now. If we can find any in the place he says he disposed it after he fesses up, then we can convince the prosecutor too.
These are backwards. I guess it doesn't matter. Screw it. Kuma-chan needs more lines anyway.
That's right.
It was pretty insignificant as a standalone case. A confession from Satoshi Hojo would end it quite succinctly, but everyone else except me must believe that. But if I look at it as part of series of crazy, mysterious deaths, it won't be so easy. Either the 3 families of the village or the Sonozaki family alone is directly involved in this. I can tell this. If they are the ones pulling the strings, they must have instigated Satoshi Hojo into committing this crime. If so, Satoshi Hojo is someone who knows way too much about them.
I just love that he's like right on the money and then just leaps totally off the cliff of...
Yeah, he's like very close, but also very wrong, right? Yeah, it's why Oishi, like, he's such a wonderful character.
Yeah.
He's easily the strongest of the supporting cast. The Sonozaki family's actions must remain hidden. If he could connect them to the crime, would they let him run around freely like this? Satoshi Hojo is a loving brother who cares very much for his sister, and they set him up to kill his aunt as their 40th curse. After that, they will eliminate the one person who can connect them to the crime. Satoshi Hojo is not just a simple criminal, he was set up. And after that, my suspicions were confirmed, for he abruptly vanished into thin air, like mist. He disappeared in such a puzzling way. He didn't run because he was afraid that his crime had come to light. Another culprit came into the picture. He was already arrested for a different crime, and furthermore, he died while in prison, which is not suspicious at all. He confessed to information only the culprit himself would have known, therefore he must be the culprit. But as he's already dead, the investigation came to close. Then Satoshi Hojo disappeared a few days after festival. It's obvious someone doesn't want Satoshi Hojo to be connected to this incident. My boss put pressure on me to close the investigation and to file Satoshi Hojo's disappearance as a separate incident. He even handed the case over to a different section. The way this case is closing so rapidly like a noose around neck greatly resembles the same trick used 2 years ago with the Hojo couple's accidents. There's no doubt it is the work of someone who can put pressure on the police. As it happens, the Sonozaki family is the only possible culprit who can actually exert influence on the police department here in the Hinamizawa area. It's true. It's the only locally grown crime syndicate.
That's right.
That could be the culprit. Glad I got a chuckle out of you there.
I like the idea that Uishi thinks that like all of the people directly around him in his own office are being paid off, and that's what's going wrong.
Yeah, it's the other Uishi clones. They're turning against him. It's a problem. They think their trails are covered, but this points towards them more clearly than anything. Almost as though they are deliberately leading me this way. Very strange. But
I thought that there was a second comma after Oreo Sonozaki here, and I was about to be like, what?
Hold on. Oh, shit. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be a great twist? According to my informant, Oreo Sonozaki mentioned the 4th year's curse at the family meeting and hinted that she was the one behind it all. Hinting isn't strong enough evidence, but there's no mistaking that Oreo Sonozaki is the one pulling the strings. She's after all a very powerful and attractive woman. I know they're the ones who did in the old man, but I just can't grab them. The principal offender is still on the loose, but I'm sure he is being sheltered somewhere by the Sonozaki family. I have to locate him and find that missing right arm. I'll return the arm to his grave and make the principal, after so many, that's gross, and make the principal offender and the mastermind both bow down before it. Because that arm would be rotting surely by now. It would be like, I mean, it wouldn't be pleasant.
Just put it in some oil. It'll be fine.
Embalm it. That's fine.
Exactly.
I hope they have been preserving that arm and they didn't just throw it out with the trash.
Why would they?
Why would they throw it out? Why would they?
Exactly.
However, just like how Satoshi Hojo's disappeared, it's possible the principal offender has already been eliminated. I bet he's already been killed and buried somewhere nobody can find. If that's the case, then that's fine. I'll make the old bag who ordered someone to kill the old man slam her forehead on the ground before his grave. This I swear! After the 4th year's curse, people are already saying something will happen again next year. Even with all of my preparations, I couldn't prevent the incident from happening this time. It's too late if something happens. I must keep my eyes on the core of the village before something takes place. There's a reason why I have to get to the bottom of this by next year. Because I am retiring. My mother, my lovely mother, has been wanting to go back to her hometown in Hokkaido, and for a long time, she's been asking me to move there when I retire. I feel that's the least I can do for her, so I agreed to move to Hokkaido when I retire. So, next year is my last chance to avenge the old man's death. It happened 4 years in a row, so more than likely there'll be 5th curse too. As a result of the series of mysterious deaths, the village has been tightly knit together since the dam protests. They were told the betrayers will be punished in the name of the curse. To the masterminds, that's enough reason to continue with the series of mysterious deaths. According to rumors, this year's victim, the aunt, was cursed because she didn't participate in the Watanagashi festival, so there are villagers who believe that if they don't participate in next year's Watanagashi, then they will be cursed. It'll be a huge festival next year for sure. Something will happen. The series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as the Curse of Oishio-sama. I will avenge the old man. I definitely will.
I don't believe it.
I believe it. Oishi, you gotta achieve your dream.
Nah.
Just because you're a dum-dum who is too stuck up his own ass and too busy, like, abusing children.
I mean, listen, in fairness, Ben,
Yeah.
if I was to tell you that this house was actually being operated by a secret
Actually
government
haunted?
organization, would you believe it?
The house that we're currently sitting in?
Correct.
No, I wouldn't believe you.
Exactly.
Because you're my dear friend and I don't suspect you of anything.
And that is exactly the
anything
problem
suspicious.
Oishi is having.
Is it now? Is he good friends with Takano and Irie?
Absolutely.
No, he's not! He has a rivalry with Irie because Irie's like keeping the kids from him. He literally does not like Irie. I don't know what his relationship with Takano is. I think he just made a comment once about how she looked good in a nurse's outfit. I think that was the only interaction that he's ever had with Takano. But Irie, he doesn't like very much because Irie keeps keeping his prime suspects from him.
Yeah, but Irie is probably also working with the Sonozaki family, so like, what are you going to do
You know what?
about
That's
that?
possible. But I'm just saying, we haven't seen him even factor him in the equation. Ryukishi, are you holding back Oishi? Are you saying that if you allowed Oishi to finally reach his full potential, that he could actually crack this case and this story would never have happened?
You may not
is
like
that
it, but
what's
this
happening?
is what peak detective performance looks like.
It's true. It's true. Oishi is peak detective performance, okay? By this story standards. Oh, God. What was that one? What screen was that on?
I don't know.
Did you just flick the screen a bunch?
No, it was this one.
Pretty good. Or on
Screen
34
two,
then.
bottom right.
Screen 1. We're getting there.
There's only one left on here.
I know. So the way this is structured is that, like, once we get to, like, 40, we just have to go on to screen 6 and just read down, basically.
Okay.
Like, from those two
We'll
screens.
still check just in case.
Of course.
Oh my god, it looks like I'm going to have a talking role.
Yay!
I'm so
ready.
excited.
I can tell stories while you speak. The village was in an uproar because the fourth mysterious death in a row, which everyone believed would happen, actually did. Sadako-chan's uncle, Art, was killed. All the villagers felt rather satisfied about this incident, saying the curse finally fell on her for being a local troublemaker. But I know the truth. When I saw the beaten up body at the crime scene, I knew Satoshi-kun was responsible for it. Her abuse towards Satoko-chan was getting worse and worse. Worse and worse. Damn it. I'm getting better at it. It's like incredibly camp bullshit I'm doing. Satoshi-kun wanted to protect her, so he brought home a baseball bat. All the signs were there, so I didn't even need to hear it from Satoshi-kun. Yet I couldn't avoid questioning myself. I felt bad for the Hojo siblings who had no one on their side, so I tried to be their ally. In the end, I failed to be any help to them. The phone rang. It was Satoshi-kun. He's never called me before. What happened? Does he want me to help him? If so, I will. I truly feel that way. Hello, Coach. Sorry to bother you while you're at work. Oh, don't worry. What can I do for you, you psychopath? I can't think of anyone else who has a car, so...
I need to dump a body.
I need to dump a body, please, Coach. A car? Sure, I have one, yes. I'm in front of a toy store here in Okonomiya.
Oh my god, are they actually
Here we
gonna do
go!
this?
The best
Are they
sequence.
actually going to do this?
Yes, this is it, dude. Not the one owned by Mion's uncle, but the other one by the dentist's office. Sure, I know where it is. I found a teddy bear for Sadeko's birthday, but it's too big to put on my bicycle. Too big. Satoshi-kun, how big is this big teddy bear? I guess he didn't think about it and went to the toy store on his bicycle. Now he's stuck. Oh, what a silly boy. That's so typical of him. I can't help but smile warmly. In other words, he can't carry both the bicycle and the teddy bear, so he wants me to come pick him up. I told him I'd be right over and headed to the toy store in Okonomiya. When I got there, I found that the teddy bear he bought is a lot bigger than I imagined. You could fit a whole light machine gun in that. Oh my! Oh, this is huge! There's no way you could put this on your little bicycle, huh?
You know shit. That's why I called
That's why
you
I
here.
called you, prick. Just throws the bear at him. Murders him. The teddy bear is so big that Satoshi can hardly wrap his arms around it. If he puts it on his lap in the passenger seat, he won't be able to see anything. Maybe he should sit on the bear's lap.
What?
Yeah. If he loaded the bicycle in the back seat and stuffs the teddy bear in the trunk. Boy, it must have been expensive. Oh, yeah, I guess. At first I thought he was sweating because of the heat, but he's acting oddly, as if he has a high fever and his consciousness is coming and going. What is wrong, Satoshi? Are you feeling okay? Oh, I guess. I think I have a cold. That's not good. Do you want to swing by the clinic?
Bad
I'll
idea.
give you a checkup.
Bad idea.
I will give you long-term checkup, little blushing boy.
Oh, God.
Thank you. Then he called early. He didn't sound this way. Did he become ill all of a sudden? Why don't you put the seat back? Is it too cold? Are you okay? His face is turning pale. I can tell he has a high fever. Satoshi-kun was pushing himself to buy this teddy bear. A teddy bear this size can't be that cheap. For him to earn enough money in such a short period of time, he must have worked hard and long hours. Maybe he felt relieved now that he got the teddy bear he had wanted to buy. It's not unusual for a person to collapse after reaching his big goal. I'm proud of you for earning enough money to buy such a gigantic teddy bear. Satoko-chan will be so happy. I hope so. I'm sure she will be. I guarantee it. Our aunt is gone. Our uncle isn't coming back. There's nobody who can hurt her in any way anymore, right? That's right. There won't be anyone who can hurt her. So you can relax now. Our aunt is gone, right? She died. Right? Yeah, she is dead. I performed the autopsy. There can be no mistake.
You're very enthusiastic about that, Irie.
Should never abuse Satoko-chan again. Are you sure that you really confirmed that she's dead?
Listen, motherfucker, her brain was in pieces on my desk.
Oh my god. Yeah. I sure did. I definitely did. So even if I see someone who looks just like her, it's not her, right? It's not like she was actually alive and recovered, right? No, that's not possible. She'll never come back to us. Then, look at that lady. She looks like her, but that's not my aunt, right? Right? Satoshi couldn't point it at the oncoming car in fear. Of course, the car passed by so quickly that I couldn't see her face, but no matter how much she looks like her, it's impossible for her to be alive. Look at her. She looks exactly like her. She even looked at me. Calm down, Satoshi-kun. Your aunt is dead, so no matter how much she looks like her, it's not your aunt. But she looks just like her. Look. No, it must be her. No, that's my aunt. She's... I killed her. I bashed her head in repeatedly. Why?
I'm reminded of the other scene in there's a Tatari Higurashi where Keiichi starts confessing.
Yeah.
And Irie is like so calm about it. And it's like, this is weird. Yeah. It's like, this is why,
because you've seen it before.
Yeah.
It's great. I can only try to stay calm and drive. Satoshi-kun is losing his cool. That is an understatement. I don't like that translation. Satoshi-kun is losing his cool.
Takes off sunglasses.
He's delusional. He's seeing his aunt coming back from the dead. Then I finally realize Satoshi-kun is displaying symptoms of the terminal stage. I need to examine him once I get to the clinic. It's different from Satoko-chan's case. We already have the cure. We can treat Satoshi-kun. If I talk to the mountain dogs, they'll take care of the murder of his aunt, so I can both save him from going terminal and give him back his peaceful days with Satoko-chan. He was deranged until just a minute ago, but now he's gone quiet. He didn't fall asleep. I must get to the clinic while Satoshi remains in this calm state. There's no guarantees that he won't attack me while I'm driving. As if he knows what is going through my mind. Satoshi-kun spoke to me quietly. Coach, is this the curse of Oyoshiro-sama? There is no curse. Please, try to stay focused. Sadako, sorry. Until just before I bought the teddy bear, I was thinking about running away. That's why Oyoshiro-sama got angry. I'm a failure as a big brother. I'm... You don't need to say anything. Please close your eyes and get some rest. We'll get to the clinic soon. Then I'll give you some medicine, okay? I feel like there are maggots in my blood. It itches. Don't scratch. Don't claw at your throats. We arrived at the back door to the clinic. I slammed the brakes and stopped the car. Satoshi-kun has already started to claw at his throat. I can't stop him by myself. I asked for some help through the intercom. Some staff members came out immediately. Maybe Satoshi-kun was surprised to see so many people at once because he started to resist. I don't even need to run tests. He's at L5. He's reached the terminal stage and his thoughts must be filled with delusions. Maybe he thinks that the staff members want to kill him. The staff members pinned his arms and legs down and gave him a shot to put him to sleep. Coach, please, help me. Don't worry, I'll make you better, so please relax. Coach, please take care of Sadako. Please take care of Satoko. After saying those words, he fell unconscious.
My. What's going on?
Get out of here, you damn nerd. Satoshi couldn't suddenly display symptoms. Considering the amount of stress he's been under, it was just a matter of time, or maybe he was holding it back until he bought the teddy bear.
It's interesting that somehow we always find a live specimen around Watanagashi. Do you think it's the curse of Oyoshiro-sama?
I don't have time to listen to her nonsense. Oh, damn, that's it. I don't have time to listen to her nonsense.
I really like this scene in particular as a reframing device of the end of Onigakashi.
Sure.
Because, like, I think what actually happened has well and truly been revealed by now.
Yeah.
But explicitly framing what Irie was going through when he showed up to Keiichi's house at the end of the arc.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it shows why he had a bunch of armed guards in a van show up with him.
Because that's what it took to subdue Satoshi.
Yeah. Like, it's...
Right. And I mean, yeah, even that moment where he says, Satoshi probably sees it like all these people are trying to kill him. And it's like, that's exactly what's happening in Onigakashi.
Yeah.
That's why Keiichi leaves the note and like eats out the window, whatever he does.
I think, you know, there's been a lot of moments through Matsurubayashi, which admittedly intentionally are like opening things up more than I would have liked. But I think that scene in particular there was a nice way of just doing a scene that explained so much else without ever explicitly saying what the other things were.
Sure. Well, I mean, that scene in particular was almost like a mini climax of this arc, right? Like we're going through the fragments. That was fragment 34. There were a couple of kind of minor climaxes where we're like, this is what happened to Sadako's parents, and this is what happened to Rika's parents. But like that, to me, felt like an emotional climax of all these little things we've been seeing from way back when we had the moment with Sadako where she was like, I don't get any mint candy.
Yeah, I also like...
like it's the finale of that.
I also like the last line from Takano there at the end where it's like, I hope it doesn't answer the question, but kind of offhandedly suggesting that she's actually just been injecting people to like set these up year after year.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, that's the fun part, isn't it? Because all chemicals.
Yeah, because I don't want to answer that question. Like, that'd fuck it up for me, but
sure.
I like that the hint is in there.
Sure. All right, we're heading to screen 4.
Well, hard one to pick.
It could be any of them. A bottle of wine for a toast is required. Chiritomitaki Flash's promise is required. The draft of an emergency manual is required. So technically we could have read this one a while back, but it's like, I don't know, I guess it just makes more sense in this order.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious as to why this order specifically was chosen, because they don't all seem to be like directly linked to each other. Like
I think it's like maybe 5 or 6 different paths that are...
Yeah, no, it definitely is. They'll like link up at the end. It definitely is that. I'm just curious why the person who's like made this particular guide has numbered them the way they have. Let us know in the comments.
Maybe they tried to get them like as chronological as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
It seems that way so far.
Yeah, it also seems like just story-wise, like it seems to line up pretty well. Anyway, I'm going to assume this is my girl. It happened so suddenly.
Uncle Koizumi passed away.
I'm so done.
I never heard he was ill or wasn't feeling well.
Whatever.
His chest started to hurt suddenly and he couldn't sleep. He called an ambulance for the first time in his life because he didn't think he could endure the pain. He was taken into emergency care, but he didn't live to see morning. It was an acute myocardial infarction.
Infarction! You heard the lady. It's an infarction.
I don't know if that's correct or a typo.
I feel like it should be infraction, but I'm not sure. Do you want to look it up?
I want to look that up.
You got it? Okay, I was going to look it up, but if you want to do it, then I can sit here and just say things that are going to get cut.
I just searched that in my email. It's like no results.
I'm going to send an email to myocardial infarction.
Oh no, that is the term.
Really? What does it mean?
Blockage of blood flow to the heart muscle.
Okay. So you got clogged arteries. Or a myocardial infarction. I keep wanting to say Mido. I'm not sure why.
I think it's just a heart attack.
That's what it sounds like. It's a pretty straightforward death then for this character. But it's supposed to sound all clinical because it's Takano saying it. She's the science lady.
It's really weird. I've never heard that term for it, but yeah, that is just a heart attack.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the best possible way to go. Instead of being in bed for many years, slowly dilapidating and withering away, he was healthy until his death, so I think he must have lived a wonderful life.
Yeah.
But still, it was too sudden.
At least he didn't die during breakfast.
I wish I'd called him Uncle more. It's too late, though. Uncle Koizumi would never smile at me again with his wrinkly old face, no matter how many times I called for him. He was my guardian until now. He always looked after me, making sure my efforts received proper recognition. Maybe he only did that because he couldn't help my grandfather when he was alive, but still he was an important person to me. It wasn't just my political backing. But I didn't realize that when he was alive. I only thought of using his power for my own agenda. But after he died, I realized. Uncle Koizumi was my grandpa too.
Aww.
He provided warmth and protection that I longed for from my own grandfather.
Cute.
At his funeral, I shed tears that I thought I had forgot how to. Uncle, thank you for everything. I should have called you Uncle more. No matter how many times I called to him, he would never reply. What I can do for him at this point is complete my research. I must accomplish my goal for his sake. When my grandfather's research is finally acknowledged, Uncle Koizumi's name will be known once again for being the sole supporter of his endeavor. I believe that's the best way to repay him for everything he's done. I vow to devote myself to my work even more from this day on. But unfortunately, hardships and sadness tend to come together. Just like the tailwind that blew steadily until today suddenly became a headwind.
Oh, damn.
The winds shifted far too suddenly. So strong, so cold, so sad.
The kamikaze.
What are you talking about, Jiro-san?
Oh, I'm just sitting here on this bench here being cool. Wait, hold on. Let me just, let me get this.
Get in character.
Sam out of my throat. Here on Animal Planet. Here on Jiro-san's Animal Planet, let's talk about cameras. Well, you know that Koizumi-sensei was the main political sponsor for the Irie Institute, right? He had trouble getting approval from the related agencies, but Koizumi-sensei had used his political weight to force it through. After all, he was one of the key figures in the post-war restoration, accomplishing tremendous deeds in the medical industry. He held a huge influence in politics and industry.
So now that Koizumi-sensei is gone, the way he did things won't work any longer.
What do you call that when a character gives, like, post-death backstory? Is that post-backstory? Is that what that is? Is that the technical term? Because that was like a ton of... He was just like...
Eulogic.
Because what just happened there was that Tommy was like, let me tell you everything about this character that we've known for an entire arc, but let me just, like, explain his character for you.
Eulogic backstory. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. I like the term post-backstory, but, you know, it's just me.
Well, maybe flashback story?
Flashback story. There we go.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, he's holding a camera. Presumably with a
I'm glad you got the joke,
setting.
Ben. Took you a sec.
Look, I expanded on it and made it better.
Thank you.
So far, it's only a rumor, so I don't know for sure, but I heard they're going to reconsider the budget allocated for the project.
Said the guy in charge of the budget for the project. He's saying the Irie Institute will be closed down.
No, I haven't heard anything about them reconsidering the Institute, but since Koizumi-sensei's death, the rumors say that there's a great deal of confusion among the old guard and their factions, or is the civil strife within the party around finding his successor. It seems the opposing factions are gaining influence in the human resources of our clients, so they may begin to dig deeper into the holy treasure chests that the Koizumi faction held to fund their project. So, of course, this is all too complicated for me to explain that well, and besides, these might just be rumors.
Jiro-san kept saying they were rumors, but that told me the wind's direction has changed. Or maybe Jiro-san knows everything and is simply trying to warn me about it. And then, at our next routine audit, Jiro-san made it clear with his own mouth. High-ranking government officials who had never come here before attended the routine audit along with Jiro-san. Just by seeing those faces, I can tell the turning point is approaching.
Damn it, I can't see with all of those government officials. She said, cut that.
Why would I cut that?
Oh, God. As you know, the Google project was created to strengthen post-war Japan's presence in the world with the view of developing deterrent weaponry. However, the 21st century is now just around the corner. In this day and age, we must put the past behind us and start looking forward to a new world.
He meant exactly what he said. Japan has already put the past behind, and it's cutting off its ties to the ghosts that wish to resurrect the militaristic might of the pre-war era.
Oh, damn. It's been 40 years since the end of the war, and we've contributed to the world in various peaceful ways. We have a strong alliance with the United States, and our nation has established its position in world affairs well enough. We have kept our promise to forever renounce war and nuclear weapons, and we are known as a nation of peace. In this coming century, our presence and influence will grow even larger.
Google, the main sponsor of the Irie Institute, are a group of people who want to develop a weapon that would act as a deterrent to the nuclear weapons which Japan is forbidden to own. So they've come to the Irie Institute, one of its branch organizations, to tell us Japan has now renounced nuclear arms, so the Irie Institute will be facing a strong, cold headwind from now on. The roll of the die that came up with one on that stormy day has reappeared. I won't let the result of a die affect me. The power of my will won't be beaten by some god's roll of the dice.
Boo. Therefore, we are going to restructure the Alphabet Project to one that's more suitable for this day and age. This new Google project will now be tasked with figuring out the best way for this country to achieve our larger presence in world affairs, not through militaristic means, but through peaceful measures like international trade and economic development.
All of the people who hold tremendous influence in politics and economy of Japan were born before the war, so naturally they want to regain the glory of pre-war Japan. The very idea that we can win next time if we research the new bomb that defeated us is itself a specter of the war. Now everyone already realized that. It's just no one could speak out against the grandstanding elders they owed their gratitude towards. Soon the old will wither away and the new generation will take control.
Nice.
Uncle Koizumi was in a way the last remaining pillar for the old generation. His death is a chance for the new generation to step in. The things they couldn't argue openly are now being discussed. They've pointed out that from the beginning, the Alphabet Project was created for the personal satisfaction of a small group of people, and it sucked money out of the treasury. And so the new generation of politicians have taken over from the old.
Therefore, everything the Alphabet Project was sponsoring will have to be re-reviewed. Of course, the Irie Institute is one of those subsidiaries. We hope that you'll understand and respond amicably. I understand. We can't research without our sponsors after all. We'll give you our full cooperation.
Irie responded appropriately, but he's obviously bewildered. The best equipment and staff are being provided to the Irie Institute. In other words, our research requires a huge amount of money. For those with no interest in Hinamizawa syndrome, they probably won't be able to understand why that much money is being put into the research of disgusting parasites.
Whoa.
If they're simply going to revise our budget, that would be fine. We're receiving more than enough money. That would naturally be adjusted. It hurts, but we can endure. That's what I thought, but if just enduring it was enough, it wouldn't be a 1 on the die. So even in that sense, this is definitely a roll of die coming up as 1. I've never heard Ryukishi repeat himself.
Anyway, wait, why is this sprite not on screen? Where's this sprite? Whatever. Anyway, the new board of directors was inaugurated back in April, and they've outlined their new policies for all projects. For more details, please look through the papers I'll be handing out.
His papers were then passed around.
Nice.
He started to go over the details, but I read through quickly so I could learn about their stupid decisions first.
I love that line. I'm sorry. I don't know why it stood out to me. Oh, it's beautiful. The Irie Institute has made great headway in uncovering the mystery of the Inamzao syndrome as well as creating a cure for the disease. The board of directors is extremely pleased. We recognize this is due to the unceasing efforts of Dr. Irie and all the staff at the Irie Institute. Thank you.
Even while he received their congratulations, a tense atmosphere surrounded me and Irie. It's customary to start the conversation in the opposite way you're planning to take it, before delving into your main point to convey.
Damn.
If the main issue is something good, then start with something bad, or vice versa.
Do you do that often, Felix?
Maybe?
What does that even mean? I'm done with you. The Irie Institute is this still Irie? Or is this Irie?
Yes, he's on the
Has
screen.
he moved? Has he moved?
I don't know.
Ah,
Ben,
shit.
Oh, you were smugly grinning at me as you asked the question.
I was enjoying myself. The Irie Institute had two main intentions. One was to study the disease and hopefully find a cure. The other was to research the possibility of utilizing the disease. Okay, yep, it's definitely still Tomitaki.
All right.
Alright.
What do we want to do for points on that?
Just 1 point. Just take a point.
Just 1 point?
Just
Okay.
Just take 1 point. It's fine. Nothing crazy.
All right.
The Irie Institute has two main intentions. We're going to research the disease. We're also going to make it into a bomb. The new board of directors has decided to put a stop to the latter immediately. In this day and age, researching biological weapons is an Achilles heel for Japan. The Irie Institution must cease all related research and destroy any results. Damn! Also destroy everything? It's fucked up. I understand. I will comply.
I mean, they're just saying destroy the weapons here.
But they need those.
Do they?
They need those to get funding, I thought. Isn't that like the whole point of why they're being funded?
That's why they're being overfunded.
There's secret bioweapons, so that was the point of that.
I don't know.
So if they can't build any weapons, they're gonna get nothing. They get scraped clean.
They can still save a few good old villages. I'm sure that politicians will respect rural communities.
Yeah, and rural communities. That's why they tried to build that dam a couple years ago.
That's right.
That was because they respected their traditions, but also wanted them to fucking move.
Irie replied with that immediately. He was assertive about finding a cure, but was never even remotely interested in researching the diseases used for military purposes. So I'm sure he has no qualms about concurring with such demands. But I don't agree.
I want to make a bomb.
Because our research will be more limited if we're trying to find a cure. To me, finding that cure is simply a byproduct of my larger goal of discovering everything about the syndrome.
Including how to kill people most efficiently with it. Also, regarding the Irie Institution, we've decided to have you wrap up your work within the next 3 years. Your budget will decrease gradually as well.
I mean, come on, Takano. You could have done the apocalypse thing like another couple of years later. Like
it's gonna be next year. She's hot on emotions, lady emotions. She's gotta let it out with an apocalypse. I suppose. Yeah, surely Takano would lose her cool like this.
Okay.
Wait, please. We've only recently figured out anything about the syndrome, and there's more we have to learn in order to create a better cure. We're making progress, but I can't guarantee we'll come up with a complete cure within 3 years. It's the understanding of the board that the Irie Institute has already completed enough research to develop a cure. The Irie Institute has already completed the C117 vaccine and has a great deal of critical data. No, it's not even close to being completed. It's still only on prototype, and we are far from being able to see a cure for the villagers. Debating the end of our research at this stage can only be described as absolutely positively reckless.
I will say, for all of the typos we've had so far, this is the first one I can think of that if you like read it out, kind of feels like him scrounging for words.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, what do I say?
But they didn't put dots in the middle, so I don't believe it.
You're right, it's not real.
I'm surprised that Irie objected. Thanks to him, I didn't have to say anything.
Nice.
If Irie hadn't objected, I'm sure I would have shrieked in protest.
In other words, the Irie Institute is not yet capable of curing all the people who are infected or to fully eradicate the syndrome, is that correct? Yeah, of course. Curing all the villagers and eradicating the syndrome will be possible in the future, and that's our ultimate goal, but I need more time and, of course, funding to do that. Our job is to investigate, find a practice that works, and establish it as a product. This isn't a job where you can follow a blueprint to create something with certainty in a set time frame. So we hope that you'll avoid following that misconception. He's very, like, collected.
I guess Irie speaks out when he needs to, and what he's saying is absolutely right. Research isn't something guaranteed to produce results with money and time, but I disagree with some of the things he said. He's objecting about the time and money, but he's basically agreeing to limit our research only towards finding a cure for Hinamizawa syndrome. That won't do. We won't unravel any mysteries that way. At that rate, the discovery of the Hinamizawa syndrome would be recognized as my grandfather's great achievement.
I see. I think I see your point. Our main purpose here is to dispose of the fact that this research was conducted for military purposes, so we must forever hide the fact that research was conducted on the strange disease called Hinamizawa syndrome, as well as hide its existence. If you can eradicate the disease without anyone ever learning about it and your legacy as a researcher, which I'm sure you don't care about, neither of you are particularly attached to that idea, then we will give you the time and funding you require. But we'll discuss more about that later. Is that acceptable? Yeah, I have no problem with that. Then please submit a plan and a budget proposal for eradicating the syndrome in secrecy. We'll do our own best on our part to approve your proposal. Thank you. I'll work on it immediately. Please don't misunderstand that it's our intention to halt that research immediately. We want to see the best possible outcome for your work. Please understand that. Yes, of course I understand.
While I was listening to their conversation, I was struck dumbfounded with something they said. I couldn't possibly tell what that might be.
Here we go.
Eradicating the syndrome in secrecy. In other words, it would have... That's a typo, right? I'm not just having a stroke.
In other words, it would have been. It would have been is what that should.
Yeah, okay. I would just.
Or it would be.
In other words, it would have been as though Hinamizawa syndrome never existed.
I'm shaking my head.
So my grandfather's name will never be revered by anyone. The sound of rustling papers and hushed proceedings filled the meeting room, but I only heard the ticking clock as I clutched my sweating palms.
Nice. There you go. So now we've learned that Takano's dream is going to be ruined.
Oh no!
Everything was going so smoothly. If only there was a way for her to escalate her plans to prove the virus's existence. If only that were a thing.
How many is that now?
35, I want to say, on screen 4, was it? Or 3?
Yeah.
You keep switching so quickly, it's difficult for me to keep track. Yeah, that was 35. So yeah, we're up to screen 5 now. I want to check. I don't think we'll ever have to go back to screens 1 to 4. I think we're done with them. So that's fun. We're finally up to the real shit of like close to present time. Because yeah, the way that it presents it in the anime is that like the whole Sadako Satoshi thing is kind of like an arc, and pretty much as soon as I think Satoshi's taken away, it's like back to the present. Like it's pretty quick after that. Anyway, it'll probably be 5 fragments per episode.
That's what we've been doing.
But we'll find out. I'm not sure because all those ones on screen 6 onwards are like weird metaspace shit, and I don't know what that means. I'm scared.
I'm sure nothing strange, suspicious, or concerning will happen in any of these.
I don't know. I'm excited. I've never seen this, and it's weird. I'm ready.
Suppose we will see you next time.
Yeah, my anime-only brain is gearing up for more shenanigans. Now for the episode, we get shit done.
Oh god.
It's not sure.
It's the worst one.
Next time.